Hey guys, it's 258. So this is a chapter I meant to be hyped about the last chapter. So, I'm actually hyped about this one because, somebody must come and meet, baby. You know who that is. If you're ready to listen to this story or already read it, you already know I'm hyped about our girl here that we haven't seen for ages from Max's perspective. I don't know if you literally just, I don't know, man. Maybe you could just come off from your human view and then hopped right into this one, or maybe not. I don't know. I'm literally just gonna leave this story up for the longest, I guess. Anyways, let's hop right into it. Chapter 16: Old Friends and New Scars. For a moment, I stared down at the stallion before leaning back and opening the door to the medical room. Again, never taking my eyes off him, I called back over my shoulder. "Hey, Prim, got a question for you." What? "Oh yeah, what is it?" came the reply. "Do you know who this guy is?" I asked, stepping to the side so she could get a better look. It was a shot in the dark, but I figured it was worth an attempt. She was silent for a few seconds before answering. "Yeah, I believe so. If I recall correctly, he's one of the members of the Coming Dawn, Navarro's old crew. That's their emblem on his caps. Stack him or something. I like that." "Ma'am," the stallion called into the room, nodding his head and tipping his cap. Cool, I said. "Hey, listen, I'm gonna go with him for a bit, so if I go missing, he's the one you need to hunt down and interrogate, okay?" This sent me a confused look from the stallion. Can do, Chief." Awesome. With that, I closed the door again. Turning to the stallion stacker, I tapped the tip of my cane on the floor and the rubber stopper sticking slightly to the marble. "Alright then, I guess the next question is, where are we going and who are we seeing exactly?" "Just follow me, sir," he said with a roll of his eyes, yet I could see the corner of his mouth twitching upwards. "It won't take long, and I'm sure she'll be over the moon to see, or that is to say, meet you again. Come on, I'll show you the way." With that, he trotted off down the hall, and the small package still under his wing. I hesitated for just a moment before limping after him. We moved through the corridors of the palace, occasionally running into maids or patrolling guards. They paid us no mind. The maids continued the cleaning, while the guards just nodded to Stacker as they passed. At first, I thought that perhaps Stacker was leading me to the barracks or even to the castle apartments. It wasn't until we reached the main hall that I realized we were actually going to be leaving the castle entirely. Stopping on the threshold of the massive golden doors, I shook my head. No, I think not." Stacker paused, already starting down the steps towards the gates to the city. Blinking, he stared up at me. "What's wrong?" "We're leaving the palace grounds," I asked. When he nodded, I continued. "Why are we leaving the palace grounds?" "I'm not sure I'm entirely comfortable with that, given what happened last time." "We aren't going that far, sir," Stacker said, turning. He pointed at a group of buildings off in the distance, just barely visible above a small grove of trees. "That there's an apartment complex where many of the older guards live. It lets us have a private lives outside of work, away from the palace, but also it lets us be close enough in case of emergencies. It's about a 5-minute walk." He eyed my cane, give or take. I eyed the buildings before looking at the guard standing on the left side of the door. "Is that true? Those are guards' apartments?" The guard nodded. "Yes, sir. Mostly high-ranking members, but any pony can request an apartment there. Well, besides new recruits, they need to stay on palace grounds during training." Triggering the inside of my cheek, I eventually sat and nodded in my head. "Alright, fine, I'll go. I'm still not 100% sure you aren't just gonna harvest my organs, but whatever." "You are a strange individual," Sager said with a shake of his head, "but I can see why Vera likes you. And no, I'm not going to harvest your organs. I think my current roommate will murder me if I harvested your organs. That makes me feel only a slightly better," I huffed. "And you still haven't told me who I'm going to see." Stacker just smiled before heading off down the stairs. Like, it's a surprise for both of them. That's so cute. The trip did take a little longer than 5 minutes, but that was mostly due to the fact that the road wasn't a straight line. It twisted and curved around a small natural park that was located next to the apartment complex. I didn't have much trouble walking it, mostly because we were going down a small incline, so gravity helped me along. Going back to the castle would be an issue, but that was future Max's problem. The main problem came when we reached Stacker's building. His apartment was located on the 4th floor with only a stairwell to reach it. Well, there was a balcony entrance to the apartment itself, something the Pegasi could use to come and go from the upper apartments. Stacker offered to carry me up, but I declined, choosing instead to take my time climbing the steps. I had to stop twice to rest my leg, but it was really no different than climbing the stairs back at the library. Stacker was waiting patiently for me at the top of the stairs, motioning with his head. He led me down the hall to the last door on the right. Apparently, the door wasn't locked, as he just pushed it open and entered, calling as he did so. "Hey, it's me. I'm back from the plaza." "Welcome back," came a voice from inside the apartment. "Did you get the eye drops? My eyes are getting a little itchy again." "Yep," Stacker noted. "Got your medicine right here. Also, I brought a guest with me." "Oh, a guest? Is it somebody I might know?" "Wait, I know that voice." Let's go, my boy. Perking up, I quickly followed Stacker inside the apartment. It didn't take long to find the speaker. She was camped out on the couch, sitting in a patch of sunlight with a blanket across her lap. I opened my mouth to call out to her, a smile on my face, only for it to vanish when I managed to get a closer look at her. Instead, I could only whisper out a hoarse, "Jesus Christ, what happened to you?" Sunny breeze blinked her dull, violent eyes, a sightless orb staring blankly out at the world. Her once vibrant irises were dull and faded, and pupils were just merely pinpricks. The flesh around the sockets was scarred, and for and the fur sparse and brittle. The entire left side of her face was covered in a thin layer of fuzz, a clear indication that it had been recently shaved, and to wrap it all up, her once frizzy yellow mane was now limp and cut extremely short. Emma whispered, her ears twitch and swivel to face the source of the sound. She turned her head in my general direction before smiling weakly. Oh, hello. I don't, think we've met before. Are you the guard? Are you in the guard as well? Her eyes darted back and forth uselessly, trying and failing to see who she was talking to. I glanced over at Stacker, who just nodded towards Sunny before heading into the adjacent kitchen with the package. The sound of rustling paper came out a moment later. I chewed on the inside of my cheeks before slowly moving further into the room. No, I'm not in the guard, and we have definitely met before. Several times, in fact. Sunny's muscles scrunched up and her brow furrowed. Really? Are you sure? I don't recognize your voice at all, and I'm usually good at remembering things like that. Yeah, well, I smacked us a glance aside. I wasn't much of a talker for a while, so it's understandable you don't remember. Here, this might help. Moving to stand in front of the couch, I considered her for a moment before crouching down. There was something I wanted to try, something I had read once in a back on Earth. Reaching out, I gently picked up one of her forelegs in my hands. She flinched at my touch, but relaxed, a curious look flashing across her sightless eyes. Lifting her hoof, I placed the sensitive frog against my left cheek. What are you? Wait, a human? Sunny's face scrunched up. I don't understand. What are you getting at? As she spoke, a hoof brushed over my face. She trailed off as she found the beginning of my scar. Slowly, her frog traced the line across my face, over my nose, and up to my right eye. I closed my eyelid as her hoof stopped over it. For a moment, she was still, but then all of a sudden, as she gasped, Max! Hey there, Sunny Buns, I said with a smile. How's it going, little mare? I almost fell backward onto my ass as she lunged forward suddenly, wrapping her forelegs around my neck in a crushing hug. Oh my gosh, she scolded, burying her face in my shoulder. Oh my gosh, what are you doing here? How have you been? When did you start talking? What happened to you? Oh my gosh, what happened to me? I asked as I returned the hug. What happened to you? Leaning back, I rubbed my thumb against the left side of her face. Your poor eyes, your face, what the hell happened to you? Blinking her blind eyes, Sunny's smile faded for a moment before returning to in full force. I'll tell you what, I've been up to. If you tell me what you've been up to. Deal, I said. Now move over. Need to get comfy. Collapsing down onto the couch, I began to make myself comfortable, only for Sunny to suddenly flop bodily into my lap. She snuggled up against me, her back resting against my stomach. Who's going first? She asked, as Stacker walked back into the room. He paused upon seeing where Sunny was, only for a smirk to cross his muzzle a moment later. Shaking his head, he walked up to me and suddenly handed me a small eye drop before taking a spot on the recliner in the corner. As I turned the bottle about in my hands to read the directions, I hummed, how about you go first? What have you been up to since I saw you at the beginning of Istris? Uncapping the spout, I held the bottle over her right eye and gently squeezed the sides. Well, after we met in Cantala, and you and Princess Celeste left to talk about Dark Flare. Oh, that's cold. She blinked rapidly as the medicine pooled in the corner of her eye. You could have warned me before you did that. Oh, don't be a baby, Chet. It's just eye drops. Now, you were saying, hovering the bottle over her other eye, I waited for her to stop blinking. Anyway, Sunny continued. After we left you and the Princess, Stacker and I went to cold. Why is it cold? After promising her that I was done putting drops in her eyes, Sunny began to regale me with her story. She filled me in on everything that had happened to her to the best of her ability, with Stacker chiming in every now and then to help clarify some points. I lost track of time as Sunny spoke about stopping two assassins that had apparently been sent to off me, to finding out where Darkflare had been hiding to her, and the coming dawn finding Reddick's old labs deep inside the mountain after she reached the part about the explosion that took her vision from her. Stacker took over the storytelling. At some point during the tale, a haggard-looking human male wandered into the room. Patches of his hair had fallen out, and he was covered in various scars. Giving me a quick glance, he then settled down on the carpet right in the middle of the patch of sunlight. Soon his gurgling snores provided background noises as we talked. Well, I whistled as Stacker wrapped their tail. You guys have been busy. You could say that, Stacker said with a grin. From what I've heard from the rumors mill, though, you've been busy as well, sir. Yeah, come on. Sunny chimed in from her place in my lap. Tell us why you're talking and stuff. Last I checked, you were mute and using hoof language. What happened? Oh boy. Shaking my head, I tightened my hold around Sunny's stomach, pulling her close against my chest. Hold on to your butts. Have I got a weird story for you? The end. God, I just love that we're back with Sunny. At least we got a little update with Max and Sunny, man. Looks like they're still best friends, even though she technically was the one to, sell him off to Celestia, technically. Was that the case? I don't remember too much of the beginning, man. I forget. Like, he tried to escape once, but, Celestia grabbed him and, whatever. It's been so long, man. It's been so long. I'm happy to see Sunny again, though. I wonder what the next chapter is. Anyways, guys, I'm going to end this here for tonight. Thank you guys for watching, listening to what you guys do, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Goodbye.
Checkmate, now we're judging our fate. Well, the dice that size of a snake. To be one, she's a winner, now a race to a coin. I'm the one that you will face. Where your higher point is sleeve, well, I only wear a crown in the place. But you think I'm trying to bluff, like I got a pocket ace. Human lies matter, but I wager my entire race. You think you got the upper hand, we became the victors. But this country
on the map like it was a